Hello dear children, how are you all? I hope you all are doing great. So in this video, we are going to do question and answers from the chapter My Shadow from your class 5 English book Marigold. So without any late, let's start today's lesson. Section 1, let's read. Question number 1. Who do you think your shadow looks like? So obviously, I think my shadow looks like me. Question number 2. Why do you think your shadow jumps into bed before you can? So the answer for this question is, when I go near my bed, my shadow falls on the bed before I can get into my bed. Why so? Because the light is fixed in my bedroom behind me when I go to my bed. Question number 3. What time of the day do you think it's when your shadow is the tallest one, and why? So the answer is, in morning time, my shadow is the tallest. And what is the reason behind it? The reason behind it is, in the morning time, the sun that creates shadow of me is in front of me, is very in front of me. So it creates the shadow that is tallest compared to the shadows created in the whole day. Question number 4. Read the lines from the poem and answer the following questions. What are the lines given here? The lines are, he is very like me from the heels up to the head. So this is the line. Let's answer some questions based on it. Who does he refer to here? So here he refers to the shadow, because shadow is very like me. Here he refers to shadow. Who does me refer to in these lines? He is very like me. Shadow is very like me. Me means the speaker of the poem. Here me refers to the speaker in the poem. Why are he and me are alike? You know that shadow is a copy of the object of which it is made. So this is the reason he and me are alike, because it's my shadow, it's the shadow of the speaker. Section 2, let's talk. Question number 1. Work in pairs and discuss the following questions. What would you do if a dog chases you? What will you do? I will not run like the dog. If I will run, then the dog will not stop chasing me. I would not run away. I will stand firm at a place, and the dog will also stop chasing me. You have forgotten your homework copy at home. What will you do then? Simply, I will tell the truth to my teacher. I will apologize to my teacher that teacher, I have not brought my homework copy today. Please forgive me. I will show you my homework copy tomorrow to you without fail. So the teacher will not punish you. If you will tell a lie, then the teacher may punish you. Question number C. You were alone in a room and the lights go out. Obviously, there will be a fear in you if the light goes out, but you have to stand firm and you will wait till light comes back, and you will arrange a candlelight till the light comes back. Okay. Section 3, fun time. Shine a torch behind your hand and see its shadow on the wall. When we torch our hand before a wall, then we can see our shadow on the wall. Use the hints given in the box. Move the torch a little away from your hand and see the shadow on the wall. Okay. Do you find a difference in the size of the hand on the wall? Yes, obviously. When we will move away the torch from our hand, then the size of the shadow will change. It will become smaller. And when we will move the torch nearer to the hand, then the size of the shadow of the hand on the wall will become larger. Section 4, working together. Work in groups of 5, yes. Make a large hand on a plain sheet, yes. Make the names of fingers, thumbs and palm on the hand, yes. Here, this is the diagram. You have to prepare a picture like this in your copy, and you will point out the little finger, ring finger, middle finger, forefinger and thumb in your copy. Question number 2. Do the actions as given below and observe which part of finger or fingers of your hand is being used. Point at a door. When we point at a door, then the forefinger is usually used by us. We do not show thumb. We show our forefinger when we point at a door. Then bounce a ball. When we used to bounce a ball, then which fingers are in action? We will be able to bounce a ball only with the help of all 5 fingers. Alright. Scratch your chin. You can scratch your chin with the forefinger and the thumb. With these two fingers, you can scratch your chin. Twist your ear. If you wish to twist your ear, then 2 fingers are in need, forefinger and thumb. These 2 fingers, with these 2 fingers, you can twist your ear. Comb your hair. If you want to comb your hair, then all fingers will be in action. Draw with a pencil. If you want to draw anything on a paper with the help of a pencil, then you will have to first of all hold the pencil correctly. So to hold the pencil in a correct position, you will need 3 fingers, that are the thumb, the forefinger and the middle one and the middle finger. With the help of these 3 fingers, you can hold the pencil correctly and draw anything that you think on the paper. Touch a flower. If you want to touch a flower, which fingers are there will be in use? Any of the finger. You can touch a flower with the help of any of your 5 fingers in your hand. Got it? The answer may vary from person to person. So I wrote here any of the fingers. Section 5, let's write. Here we are going to solve grammatical questions. Fill in the blanks using one of the words given in brackets. Question 1. Where is the child? Their parents have come to school. Option A, whose, which. So you know that these are relative pronouns, and I have already made a video on relative pronoun, and I have shown the video link on the I button. Press the I button and go for the relative pronoun video. Okay. So here the relative pronoun is used in place of for the noun the child. The child's parents. Here it refers to possession of something. So if what is the relative pronoun used for possession? Whose. We will use whose. Where is the child? Whose parents have come to school? Whose parents? Child's parents. So here for possession we have to use whose relative pronoun. Question number 2. I saw many houses. They were quite spacious. So here the noun for which the relative pronoun will be used, that is many houses. So here the noun is an object. So what relative pronouns are used for objects? We have learnt that 2 pronouns are used, relative pronouns are used for referring objects. First one which, second one that. Where which is used? We use which for referring such objects that are not specific, that are not particular. Okay, that are not defining. Got it? If the nouns are defining, then we have to use which. If the nouns are non-defining, then we have to use that. Okay, so here many houses, we have to again define the house. So it's not particular. Many houses. Which house you are not no, you have no idea about it. So here we have to put which. Third, mathematics. That is my favorite subject, so it's so interesting. Here we have talked about mathematics. It will be also used as an object, but it's not particular, so you have to use which. The poem that you read out is so lovely. Here the poem, you have to put relative pronoun for the noun, the poem. So the poem, it's particular, so you don't need to put who, which. You have to put that. The poem that you read out, it's so lovely. You do not need to identify what is the, which is the define. So it's non-defining. So it's clear about that the poem, which poem, the poem, that poem. Okay, so you used that. I know the street that she lives on. Here also you know the street, you know which street, you know that street, so you will put that. I like reading books that have pictures in it. Here also you know which book, the picture books. So you used that. I like reading books that have pictures in it. The old baby that I met in your house is my neighbor. The old lady. Here the relative pronoun is used for old lady. It intends old lady. So if it intends, then you will use whom. The old lady whom I met in your house is my neighbor. The next one, question number 2. Complete this description by answering the questions below. What do you think is the name of the dog? You have the picture in your book. So the name of the dog, I think the name of the dog must be Shadow. Why? Why so? Why is she called Shadow? She is called Shadow because she follows Mittu like a shadow. Wherever Mittu goes, the dog follows him. So Mittu named the dog Shadow. What color is she? So the color of the dog is grey. Her color is grey. Do you think she is friendly? Yes or no? Yes, she is a friendly dog. What does she like to eat? She likes to eat chop and dog biscuits. Write a few lines on Mittu and his little dog named Shadow. Let's compose. She's a beautiful white dog. She follows Mittu like a shadow wherever she goes. She's a friendly dog. She likes to eat pieces of bones. She has made a little house for Shadow. Section 6. Say aloud the last section. S-H-O-E, shoe. S-H-A-D-O-W, shadow. F-I-S-H, fish. B-U-S-H, bush. S-H-I-P, sheep. S-H-E-E-P, sheep. D-I-S-H, dish. W-A-S-H, wash. S-H-E-L-L, shell. S-H-A-D-E, shade. W-I-S-H, wish. B-R-U-S-H, brush. So here is a poem for us. Let's recite it. When the sun shines, I can see my shadow right in front of me. When I walk, my shadow walks. When I hop, my shadow hops. When I jump, my shadow jumps. And when I stop, my shadow stops. So this poem is by Louis Binder Scott. What a beautiful poem about shadow. So that is all for today's lesson, students. Thank you for watching my video. And if you like the video, then do subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, and like, comment and share this video with your friends and classmates. Thank you, students. Bye.